So the reason I like some of these photos is you'll notice that the hand railing in the stairs have vertical balusters, not those nice horizontal ones that come with every stair in Revit. And this is a beautiful photo of a wall-mounted handrail with the bend at the bottom and the bends at the top and the little wall-mounted plates and stuff. So we're going to draw that. This is the horrible connection that Revit doesn't do very well. You'll discover that really quick. And there's a nice C-channel stringer.
Hey, it's
What's that? Can't hear
another
you.
good example of that. That's another good example of now that piece not actually meeting code, right? Because that,
Yeah.
you know, it's a guardrail now, the one on the left I'm looking at, or the right, but at the landing there.
Yeah.
So that's not guardrail height. So that wouldn't
Yeah.
meet current code. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this last one, just a nice picture of a steel stringer. So it's not a cut stringer like the concrete looks like. It's straight on top, and that's why they mount their posts on it. So they can be welded. I like the steel stringers, but you can draw either one as far as I'm concerned. These two little details are off of our sample drawings. I can't remember which ones. They both tell us the same thing. I just happen to really like this one on the left because we're going to have to tell Revit to take our wall-mounted handrail and extend it out 300 at the bottom. But that extension is after 1 tread depth. So the last nosing is there. So then you continue at the length of your tread and then you bend and go 300. And then at the top, that's the last nosing when you're going up, and we'll go over 300. So those are the things we need to do once we get our stairs in place. And this is just another drawing telling you the same information a different way. All right, so now we want to draw that. So hopefully your building looks something like that. And we're going to put some stairs in them, and we'll put an elevator in tomorrow or whenever. In 3D, it's going to look something like this. I just hid one wall so that you can see there's the stairs. There's the interior handrail. Oops, there, that guy. Revit has issues. This is a real problem. And then there's a guardrail, different height on that landing so you don't flip over. And there's a nice little wall-mounted handrail. And it doesn't really have to go around the whole landing, so we would stop that because it'd just be a waste of material. So what you'll notice is you can't have these joists going through your stairwell because you'd bang your head on them on the next set of risers. So we'll be cutting the joists out of there, and we'll be putting C channels from the wall to the outside, and then if you had to span from that beam. Okay, so that's what we're going to draw. So if I just go to the main floor of my building, I've got a little stairwell ready to go. You draw stairs going up, so from the lowest level to the top. So this wall, if I grab all 4 of them, is actually going right from my top of parkade up to the underside of my roof. So that means I'm going to draw this in the parkade. Okay, so there it is. If you don't have any walls yet, just build yourself a room if you could, and make it so the interior dimension here, I used 3476 by 5700. That'll just give you something to work with. You can make them a little bit smaller if you want, or whatever you're planning. But if you could just give yourself 4 walls, it'd be good for us to draw this together.
And if they did their homework from that activity yesterday, they should know how wide it needs to be.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't have to be this size.
Can anybody tell us what is the minimum width for your stair?
1100 millimeters.
Correct.
for
Because of your group D, there is some 900s allowed, but I think it's for specific groups, and I think your group D needs 1100.
right.
So you'd be 1100 plus 200 in between, or since you're doing steel stair, it could be 100 in between or whatever. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you could have it much skinnier. I made these guys 1500 with 200 in between. So you decide. Just give yourself 4 walls.
That's a good design comment too, though, Lindsay. Like if you
Yep.
have a stair that maybe you walk into your building and your stair is right beside the elevator, and you're going to have maybe a fire rated glass wall to that stairs, so the stair is very inviting. Maybe you want to make it a little bit wider, right? Just that 1500 would be so much nicer just to encourage people to use the stair instead of the elevator. These are the type of design considerations you should be thinking of.
If you're designing stairwells at SAIT, you make them wide because people are all plowing through those stairs all at the same time, right? So.
Well, those ones are all based on occupant load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you've given yourself a room and you've set the walls to go from your parkade up to your second floor with no offsets. We need that to be set because it's going to tell us how many risers we need. Changing it after is a pain. So make sure you're telling it this wall to go up to that height. Okay, the next thing is we need to cut a hole in the floor. So the parkade is the bottom, that's good. The main floor needs a hole cut in it. And the walls are typically continuous. So we'll cut the hole in our floor to go around the outside of the concrete block or the concrete wall, whatever the stairwell is made of. Okay, so what I usually do for that is just grab a hold of the floor, and then I'm holding on to the main floor, and I'm going to edit the boundary and put a hole in it. And I like to use this tool here, the Pick Walls tool. And then I click on the wall near the outside of it. And what it's done is it's found the core for me. So the hole isn't big enough for gypsum board, just for the concrete block. Then I click OK. Just say no, don't attach anything for me. I want to do it myself. So now I have a hole in the floor on the main floor, but we're going to start our stairs down in the parkade. So there's no hole in that floor. All right. We are now going to follow the PDF a little bit more so you know where I'm getting all this information from. So I'm in this PDF called Interior Structures. And you've just drawn yourself a room, whatever size you've decided. You can change the wall type after, but the wall type I'm using right now is concrete masonry blocks. I have furring channels with gypsum board. I think Darren likes small studs to attach the gypsum to. Darren, I think you mentioned 64s. I'm just using furring channels.
Yeah, that's just on the not the stair side. Like I would typically leave the inside of the stair just kind of unfinished. Or
Unfinished.
Sate's done a nice, actually Sate did a nice thing. They stuccoed the concrete wall, which is pretty decent. But yeah, usually this inside the stair cores usually isn't finished. So that furring wall would happen on the other side of the wall where the tenant space is or the lobby. Yeah.
Okay, so you can just take off 2 of those layers. All right, now we're going to go into plan view, and we're going to draw some stairs. When you have stairs that are going up more than 1 level, you might be able to use the multi-story stair type. It's called multi-story. You can only use the multi-story if your floor-to-floor heights are the same. Otherwise, you just have to draw it for each floor height. So let's use the stair called assembled stair metal pan. And how you go about getting that is if you're in Revit, you go up to your question mark where the help is, and in the search key in stair samples. Because the metal pan stair type doesn't come with in your template, in your file. So these guys have a nice Revit file full of stair samples, and they have a nice metal pan stair. So you want to go to that drawing, open it up. And you can see all sorts of stairs in here. These guys down here are residential, but at the end, there's a nice sample of a metal pan stair. And it doesn't matter what the shape of it is, it's just the family that we want. So it has a steel stringer, steel risers, and concrete poured in the pan. It's the same for the U-shaped one. So all you really have to do is select it. I'll just grab it like that. Copy it to your clipboard. And then go into your file and paste it. It's not going to work for your file, you just need it in the file. So here's my file. I'm just going to paste it from the clipboard. This gets the family into your file. So you plop it down over here, finish it, and now you have this family that you can use. So you can actually delete that one. All right, now I'm going to go back to my parquet floor plan where I'm going to draw that stair. Code. Darren, is this still right? It might be an old number. The tread depth, is it correct?
So Revit, so yeah, it's a 280 run. So
Run.
the tread is actually, so Revit gets confused here because Revit refers to the run as the tread.
Okay.
So just be careful there. But it's 280 run, and then you have a 305 tread.
There.
So if you make your run into anyways, yeah, that's what it is.
Okay, so we'll look. I'm just not sure if this is right.
So just draw it and then we'll measure it after. Let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
So do your 280 run in Revit and let's see what happens. Yeah.
Okay, so now I have that stair in my file, so I can go to the Stair Tool. I'll go over here and you'll find your metal pan stair. And we're going to look at it first and see if it is set to, see they've got tread depth 280. And their tread depth is what we call a run, I'm pretty sure.
That's right. So doing the 280 will work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got this. It's got stringers already in there for us. So that's good. We'll just use it. Click OK. And what it's waiting for me to do is give it 4 points because I need to build a U-shaped stair. So 1, 2, I've got those along the structure on this side, and then I go over to the other side to click 3, 4. So depending on what your orientation is, if I want my door here and I want to come in and hang a quick right and go up the stairs, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So in order to make sure it's calculating the right amount, we want to go from the top of parquet to the main floor. It's telling me I need 19 risers and they're using the 280 tread depth. Perfect. I'm using it by placing it with the run tool. And I want to use the exterior support right so that when I click here, I can click right on the CMU. There. Okay, I'm just going to take a guess where I'm going to start. I'll put it there, the gypsum board. Okay, I like to be on the hidden line because you can see the text better. So I've created 10 and I've got 9 remaining. So I'm going to click the second one there and then go straight across for the third and just go all the way past it for the fourth. Now this is weird. It's got this giant gap. And Revit is trying to be smart. So as wide as I've made this, it's made the depth of my landing. Do we know what the code says about the depth of our landings?
Needs to be equal or more of the width of the stair.
Exactly. So watch what happens. I'm making my stairs wider because I like wide stairs. And it says, I'm an idiot. Landing depth is less than the run width. Okay. So I'm going to grab that landing, not the stringer, but the landing. And I'm going to bring it out to the wall anyway, out to the edge.
That's pretty good that it does that, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I left enough room here for a nice big door and for my handrail. I suspect I didn't. So I think I'll just bring it in a little bit because it only has to be 1500. And then I'll move the whole stair. All right, I've got a pretty big gap in between there, but if you like that design, you could leave it. Otherwise, you could grab maybe that one and you want to move it in. I'm just bumping it in using my arrow keys like that. Yeah, I'm happier with a skinnier amount. So I'm going to click finish and then I'm going to move this wall from there to there. And then I'm going to move the whole stair back because I think I need more room at the bottom for that crazy 300 that I need. There. So far, so good. I'm going to put a door in just so I know. I've got this nice big door. Do you know the size of the opening for a door into a stairwell? Minimum. Anybody?
I'm gonna find it, Lindsay.
Okay.
I'm gonna find it faster than a student. Let's see if a student can beat me.
Ooh, the race is on.
Yeah. But it's a good question. Like,
I think
there's two ways. There's one, you calculate it by occupant load.
Oh yeah.
The other way is a minimum, right?
Yeah, I found a part in the code, and yeah, I needed to know my building classification.
Oh yeah.
Oops, that door doesn't seem to be.
Somebody said 1200. That doesn't seem right to me.
No, that's a pretty big door.
Here we go. I got it. I'm gonna share my screen quick.
Okay, good. I got to fight
Someone
with this
says
door.
900.
Not yet.
Yep.
So I put this door here. It's opening out because I'm on the. Oh, it should be opening in, right? I'm on the parkade. So I want to get out of the parkade if it's on fire. Is that correct?
So that's another item that they should have found in that activity yesterday. There's an article there saying the door must swing in the direction of exit. Or something like that.
So are we going to run into the stairwell to get out, or are we going to try and find the car door? What do you guys think? I'm trying to decide if I should flip it like that. Out.
Someone says out.
So if I'm
into the stairwell, yes.
Yeah. So if I'm running, if I'm panicking and I'm in the stairwell and the building's on fire, I don't want to run out into the parkade because I'm stuck in the building still. So I'm going to go into the stairwell. So I think that's the way it should be on the parkade floor.
Yes.
All right. Now this doesn't look good to me right now, but for now I'll leave it like this and we'll put a couple sections in here and see what we've got going. Because we need to extend that handrail out and then 300. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to move this wall. But for now, we'll just look at it this way. Okay, I love using the sections, so I'm just going to plop one right through there. It doesn't need to go out to there. There we go. And I'll go take a look at that section. And detail level fine. So far so good. Everything looks kind of nice. My stairs are making it all the way from the parquet to the main floor. I don't have a main floor in there yet. So now I'm going to grab onto that floor, go to my main floor plan, and edit the boundary again. And I would make this floor come in and fill in this portion of the stairwell. Oops, that just puts it right on top. So I don't need to draw a separate floor unless, Darren, is that how you would recommend they build it or no?
I don't think it matters. I mean, so sorry, you're doing a floor instead of the landing? Is that what you're doing?
I'm just extending the floor from the rest of the building into the stairwell as a landing.
Yeah, I think it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
From modeling perspective, who cares?
Yeah. No, I was just curious how they would actually do that, if you knew.
Oh yeah, no. So typically the landing is a separate entity inside the core. Because that poured concrete wall.
Yeah, I'm making it go
around,
around.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm making it avoid that. That's why I'm doing all this trimming right now. So I'll just show you what a disaster I'm building here. So far what I'm doing is I'm extending the floor to become the landing, and I don't have a door here yet, which is kind of stupid, but I will put one in really quick as soon as I finish the floor, because it has to be a closed boundary. Okay, so my floor, if maybe I want to get into the floor, into the stairwell on this side. Right now I'm just drawing a couple of lines because I was in too much of a hurry, so I didn't put a door there. Isn't it fun watching somebody click?
Kind of.
Is it fascinating? Okay, so there, I put a landing in there. So you would come in a door we don't have yet, and you'd go down, or you'd walk over here and you'd go up. Now I can put my door in there. That's a good question. Now I'm on the main floor and my building's on fire. Would I run into the stairwell? Out, right. So I would definitely not run into the stairwell.
But you also wouldn't run right back into your building if you're coming down the stairs. So you'd have to have a corridor going out to the exterior wall.
Oh, geez. Okay, well, we'll move it.
Yeah, I have a good example I could actually, to better describe the idea of when you enter and exit, like you have to essentially go outside, but that's fine. It's easy to do. You just have the fire rated corridor from the stair to the exterior wall. For what you're doing, what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
All right. Well, I haven't finished the interior walls yet, so let's just say that that's the reason.
But you're right. It would swing out then in that case, right? Because you'd swing it out into the fire rated corridor to the exterior.
Yes.
So you have the right idea. Yeah.
All right. So now I'm turning the section box on for a 3D view because we need to fix up those crazy handrails. That's the part I hate the most, but I also, I have issues anyway. I love making things work in Revit, especially when people say that you can't draw that in Revit. So I'm going to hide this wall so we can see into our stairwell so far. And it popped in vertical handrails, which you guys probably don't have. If anybody has drawn this so far, it comes in with that one all the time. And a lot of people leave it that way. We can't have that handrail here. So Revit has a couple of vertical handrails, but none of them that I like. They don't work very well. So I go to BIM Object and I get this family. Atlantis is the company. I can give you the file if you'd like. And it has a 36-inch high one. It's from the States, so it's Imperial, and a 42-inch one as a guardrail. And it looks like this. So it's a nice round pipe with round balusters. It just has a few issues that you have to work with to fix, but you can work with those things. So that one is called Atlantis Rail. If you're looking for it on in BIM Object. Will this thing let me paste? No, it won't. Okay, I'm just giving it to you so you can grab it off of the chat here if you want this one. There, it should be coming in the chat in a second. All right, so what you do is you will select that hand railing in the middle and you'll switch it to the 36-inch high one. And often what it doesn't do is it can't fill out all the little vertical rungs or balusters. So you have to go into Edit Type and go to the baluster placement, and you have to tell it to fill any excess areas by truncating the pattern. If I take this off and put it on none, I'll show you what it does. That's how it comes. So it filled the first bottom part, but it didn't know what to do once it went around the corner. So you go into Edit Type, Baluster Placement, Truncate, and it'll fix that. All right. Then the handrail that's going around the outside along the walls, that one should be a wall-mounted handrail. It looks like this. And I'm not sure. Can you guys check if you have that in your file? Do you have a wall-mounted handrail? If you don't know, you can just go to the railing tool and see if it shows up wall-mounted. Or do you have handrail pipe wall maybe?
Someone says they don't have it.
If you don't have it, all you have to do is go back to the help. If you did the stair sample search, the railing sample search will be right below it. And they've got a beautiful wall-mounted handrail family in there, and they do the same thing. So it's called handrail pipe wall, just this little guy. Copy it to your clipboard and paste aligned, and it comes with all those nice little things. This, we can fix that. It's not set right, but at least it's a good looking handrail. So that's how you get that. Now this handrail actually shouldn't go along the wall. So what you have to do to those is go into your drawing, select the handrail and edit the path. And a handrail has to be a continuous line. So if it was coming up from the basement on this side, I'm going to get rid of that piece and that one and that one. And then this one, I'm going to shorten it to 300 and see what I've got. Beautiful. See that handrail with the flat platform at the top? So then all I have to do is fix the one at the bottom. So this is a problem. You can't end like that. If you remember that sheet, it has to go past the last stair, the tread depth, so 280 or 300. I'm all messed up. 300, and then go 300. So that's just a little bit more of work for us, whoops, in Revit. So this little guy, we're going to extend it and then we're going to flatten it out. So I'm going to go to my main floor plan, edit the path, and first of all, I'm going to drag this another 300. So 2850. I'll just do it to there. And then I'm going to add another line and make that 300. Now I'll finish and see what it gave me. Nice. So now we know that's not doable. So I got to go back to my parkade plan now, and there's the handrail jutting into it. So I'm going to grab that wall and that door, and I'm going to move it out of the way of that handrail. Nice. Okay, so if you're happy with all of that, you can go take a peek at the section that you just put in there, this one. Everything looks good. We're all happy. So this is how you change this into a multi-story stair. I've got, oh, I can't. I've got it 3,300 to 0 on this one, and I've got it 0 to 4,000 on that one. Let me see if it'll do it. You select it, you say, put the stair up to that level, please. Did it do it right? Oh, it might have. It had to add more risers for me. It never used to fix that. That's great. So you may not like what it has done. What I mean by that is it had to start way out here, so my landing got kind of weirdly squished. So you might end up moving it around a little bit if you don't like that. I don't like that, right? So you can do it that way, or you can just undo all the way and draw it separately. So then you'd go to your main floor and you'd get your stair tool and you'd tell it to go up to the second floor, all the same kind of stuff. You decide which side it goes up and then you keep going. Do it all again. I just want to point out, if you don't get those up down arrows, sometimes your stairs just doesn't create them properly. You can go to the annotate tab all the way down to symbol. There's a tool called stair path and you just click on it and it gives them to you. What that looks like is I'm on the main floor, so I can go down, but if I had another stair, I would be able to go up as well. So I can't show you it, but here it is right here. Okay, so that's how you get the proper annotation on the stairs. There, I think that's everything about stairs that we need. Let me just check. Handrails, oh, guardrail. Right, you don't want to fall off on the landing. So what that means is up here, if you come in the door and you run down the stairs, if you run over here, you fall off. So that's where we need on the main floor to put a guardrail across here. Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't have to make my floor go around like that. Pretty sure my head height was okay. So I'm going to make that landing a nice rectangle. And then I can put a guardrail right across. So you go to the railing tool, and this time make sure you're using the right height. In metric, I think it's 1050. Does that sound right?
1070.
70. Excellent.
3'6", I think.
Yeah. So I just did that kind of fast, eyeballed that super fast, but what you want to do is just make sure it looks right. I put it too close to the wall, but okay, so then this is how this would be finished. This happens to be going to get another stair, so it's going to go up. So I won't need that, but I would need that up on the second floor. Oh yeah, I was going to also show you about the joists. So on this one, the joists are going through the opening, which is not so good. So I usually go to, that's the second floor. So I'll go to my structural plan so that I can see the joists. And this guy is going right through. So I need to shorten it. So I just have to unpin it. If I shortened this joist and dragged it right over to here like a beam pocket, Revit's telling me, yeah, no, you can't do that. The open web steel joist is way too big for that span. So I don't want to delete it. I'm just going to shorten it a little bit. And then I'm going to change it into a C channel. I've already loaded it in. C channels are used for all sorts of nice little framing things. So there we are. It's now a C channel instead of an open web steel joist. Where did it go? There we go. See that? I can leave the open web steel joists up there in the stairwell, although, yeah, they're okay. You could finish it, put a finished ceiling if you wanted or not. So in spans where these joists are too big, your choices are load in a much smaller open web steel joist or just use a C channel. And those C channels are just acting like beams. If you load the family, they are in metric, structural framing, steel, and it's this family here. When I click on that, I took 180 by, I don't know what it was, 180 by 22 or something. Yeah, 22. Okay. And I think that's everything. Does that sound like everything that you can think of, Darren?
Yeah, my only comment is to the students, just go through that activity from docs and regs and make sure you get your stairs drawn right based on your situation. But yeah, that door one's interesting. You could do an 800 door, but there's really no such thing. 900 is what we use.
Yeah, 800 is more of a residential closet or a washroom. No, not even a washroom.
Be pretty hard pressed to find a 800 door.
Yeah.
Commercially. We should take a break.
Yeah.
Let's come back at like 25 after.
Okay, 225.
Did you have more you want to talk about, Lindsay, or no?
No, I don't have to.
I could maybe just talk about some exiting principles. I brought up some drawings from the Stan Grad building at SAIT. And it's got some really interesting exiting. And I explained it to some students last year, and these two girls were like, that just made sense to me. Like, now I understand exiting. So maybe I'll do that same thing.
That sounds good.
Yeah, they're not the best drawings because they're kind of old, but all right, 25 after.
Okay.